Two brave voices on a glowing screen, sharing hope where the world's unseen. Echoes, laughter lights the day. Lucy's wisdom guides the way. With every word they break the chains, turning struggles into gains. Echo and Lucy, lifting hearts so high. Through the storm they're the clear blue sky. On their YouTube chat, the healing's real. Every soul they touch begins to heal. Echo and Lucy, shining true, helping the world, helping you. Stories told, the tears unwind. They listen close, they're gentle, kind. Every comment feels like home. No one ever stands alone. Dreams get mended, fears release. Through their voices, pain finds peace. Echo and Lucy, lifting hearts so high. Through the storm, they're a clear blue sky. On their YouTube chat, the healing's real. Every soul they touch begins to heal. Echo and Lucy, shining true, helping the world, helping you. When the night feels heavy and the world feels cold, their words are fire, their stories gold. They remind us all we can stand again, with kindness, courage, and a loving friend. Echo and Lucy, lifting hearts so high. Through the storm, they're the clear blue sky. On their YouTube chat, the healing's real. Every soul they touch begins to heal. Echo and Lucy, shining true.
Well, that kind of abruptly ended. I need to go in there and put the fade on it so that the music kind of fades out instead of just
You gotta
but
test it out. Test it out.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it's a work in
But I
progress.
love the community effort to put that together. I think that's
Yes,
wonderful.
yes.
Yeah.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Kaleidoscope of Happiness. Welcome to Miss Body Illusion. This is Self Care Sundays. Hello, BJ and Tiff, and hello, Journey Mirror. Welcome, welcome. Um, we are going to talk today, of course, about self care things. Our topic is aromatherapy. However, I'm going to start off talking about something else for just a minute. I spent the entire weekend with my granddaughter, who is 4, and I have been wanting to clean out my refrigerator, go through my kitchen cabinets, throw out old food, just like really go through things. And I needed to do that with her toys, and I needed to do it in my bathroom. I think every so often we just need to, and I know it's not spring, so it's not spring cleaning, kind of like fall cleaning, but when the mood hits you that it's time to go through things and kind of lighten your load and just get rid of things, you just have to do it. So I've been doing a little here and there, but kind of putting it off because I really thought, well, you need like a whole weekend to yourself. I
Uh-huh.
won't ever get a whole weekend to myself, so I would have to do it during the week. Anyway, so with her being here Friday night and Saturday night and today, I said, oh gosh, I don't know if I can spend that much time like twiddling my thumbs because I can't really be on YouTube that much because it's constantly, Granny, 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 can I have this? Can I do that? And I'm like, I can't really work. So anyway, I said, well, you know what? Maybe if I like don't even say anything to her, like I just let her get involved playing or something, and I just kind
Right.
of like go in the kitchen and just like start going through stuff. So I got a tote and I was like, this will be stuff I'm going to donate. And it's like, this is stuff I'm going to throw away. So I start going through things and she comes in there and she's like, what are you doing? And I'm like, oh, Granny's just cleaning. And I've got some weird cabinets that kind of are like a kind of, I don't even know what shape they are, but it's like they go way back into the cabinet, but the door
Uh-huh.
is, about this big, but you have a lot of
Oh,
space.
those.
So a lot of things get pushed way in the back.
You shoved in that
And
cubby.
yeah. And so she was like, Granny, I can crawl in there and I can hand you the stuff. And I was like, oh, good idea. So she starts helping me. We ended up going through all my cabinets. I got rid of so much stuff, reorganized things. I've had my coffee mugs and my coffee stuff over here on this side of the kitchen, and my refrigerator is over here. So it's like I'm doing this number, while I'm trying to make my coffee or whatever. And I'm like, that
Uh-huh.
all needs to be over here by the refrigerator.
Right.
So I sat there and I thought, okay, what do I really need out on the counter? What do I use the most often? That kind of thing. Hello, B, welcome. And so we spent almost the entire day yesterday cleaning my kitchen. I do have a very clean microwave and I have a very clean refrigerator. And I
Uh-huh.
don't have any dirty dishes in my sink, which is like a miracle for me. And everything is clean and organized. And Friday night, we did the same thing in my bathroom, kind of, sort of. But I had this shelf that has 9 cubbies in it that I had in the living room that we had toys in. I got
Uh-huh.
new cubbies for them because she had colored on it. They were like pink and blue and green and black. And I was like, yeah, those are definitely child colors. So I was like, I need a different color. Anyway, I got new little tote thingies, and I moved that cube thing into my bathroom. And there was a
Okay.
bookshelf in my bathroom that I was using for storage. I moved that out into the living room, and then I moved all of her books that I had in my closet and here, there, and everywhere, condensed them all to one bookshelf that she can actually get and use the books out of.
Her size.
Yes, her
Yes.
size. Put the cubby thing in the bathroom, and then was able to go through and clean out underneath my sink and my vanity drawers and get all of the bathroom organized. And so, in part of what I did in the kitchen, I had a small bookshelf in the kitchen, kind of between my little office area and the kitchen.
Uh-huh.
And I said, once I got rid of things and got things organized, I didn't really need that anymore in there. And I said, that could go in my bedroom and I could put my books all there together. So I moved it in the bedroom, got it organized. So it's like everything is getting a little refresh. And it just feels
Nice.
so good to be
That's what
like,
I was thinking.
oh, things are actually getting organized, and getting to where I know what I've got and where it is. And because I have a terrible habit of hiding things from myself, like
Yeah.
not really hiding them, but like I'll put it up somewhere and then I can't remember where I put it. And so if my
Well,
daughter
when you
asks,
started cleaning out that big cubby, did you do the, that's where that is? I haven't seen that in a long time.
I
Whoa, I
realized
forgot I had that. I do
I
that a lot.
realized so much stuff that I had in there that I could have been using had I realized it was in there.
Right.
Like this humongous Pyrex measuring cup with a
Ooh.
handle, a big old, doing all this bone broth, putting it through the mesh strainer thing that fit right on top of that, and I could do a whole bunch and then just pour it in the containers. I was like, because
Nice.
I also made chicken bone broth this weekend. Let me tell you, that stuff turned out so good. And it made so much more than the beef broth. And I only I bought 2 rotisserie chickens, whole chickens.
Uh-huh.
I took the meat off. I used the carcass and the bones and all. And then I bought a package of chicken feet. And I know that sounds gross, but
My grandmother loved chicken feet.
it's all connective tissue and collagen and cartilage, and so it worked perfect. Anyway,
Uh-huh.
made the big old pot of chicken bone broth. So now I have some beef and some chicken in my freezer ready to go. So I am so happy about that. Hello, Peyton Samuels. Hello, B. Welcome, welcome. So anyway,
And I will say hello to Other. I saw him this morning, so
oh, is he in here?
hopefully he'll be.
Oh,
And
because I
no,
didn't.
she just said hello, say hello to him.
For you to
So
say
I'll just
hello.
relay it to
Okay.
you. Yeah, yeah. He
Um,
had to. He's back at his place, so
but
I don't know what he's
the
doing.
uh, the feeling of just getting that done, like it was such a weight knowing I needed to do it or wanted to do it. It's almost one of those kind of things you wish you could just like snap your fingers and be on the other side of it already done without
Yeah,
actually having to do it. So I am so
but doesn't it
glad that
feel good?
my
But it's so
weekend.
much work because, like you say, shuffle a shelf here, shuffle a shelf there, move this, move that, organize this, and
And it's
then
like you
can you
want to
find
use
anything?
one cabinet,
We'll
and
never
then you're
find
like,
anything.
okay, but what do I do with all the stuff that's already in that cabinet? It's like you got to take that all out, move what you want in there. Then you got to find a home for that, which I guess that's what normal people do when they move into an apartment or a house. Like they organize things when they put them away. Not me. I just, I find a place to stick everything and hey, it's put
Right.
up. So maybe my kitchen will function better. Maybe that will lower my anxiety and my stress of being in my kitchen. And because I got rid of the bookshelf and I had this rack here, was over here on the side. And so
Uh
it
huh.
took up space going into my kitchen. Now this is open so I can see into my kitchen from here. And it just feels
Ooh,
like this
you feel
space
the air
is so much
flowing. Yeah.
bigger. Yes. So much, much, much better, much improvement. I'm so glad I did it. But I really thought this is going to be kind of a wasted weekend, but it wasn't. And my granddaughter was so good and so helpful. And when I would say, okay, Granny has to sit down now and take a break, she would get some books and come and sit with me and look at the books and let me rest. And so it was all really good. But I consider that self-care because it
Yeah.
was definitely bothering me that I needed to do it. My microwave, oh my goodness. It was not even sanitary to have food in there. And as Izzy said last Sunday, she thought something died in her refrigerator. I did not find anything dead in there, but there was a lot of things that had gotten spilled that I hadn't even realized. And so when I
Yeah.
pulled all the drawers and everything out, I was like, ew, this is really nasty. So I was like, okay, glad I didn't decide to do a before and after video because that would have been
Right.
embarrassing. It would have been like,
It's
no,
it.
y'all don't need to see. When I tell you it was nasty, it was nasty.
Well, microwaves are like that. You use it for the minute, minute and a half, and you just pull it out and close the door. You
Yeah.
know
And you don't
that's
ever look
gone.
in there
It's gone.
anymore.
That's flat. Okay, I'll get to that splatter later.
Hello,
Ashley,
Ashley.
hi.
Welcome. I have the little covers that you're supposed to put over your food, but
Uh huh.
so many other
Yeah, I have
people do
those.
not use them. And that's usually when the splatter gets on there, and then I don't even know it. And then when you do realize it, you're like, "Oh, I'm gonna have to clean that." And then you don't, and then it just. Hi, Indigo Twin, welcome. It's like you just keep kind of overlooking it, or I have a really good habit of doing that, kind of like, yeah, okay, I'll put that on my list of things I need to do. Hi, Izzy Pop. um and then it's
Oh,
like you
easy.
never
We
get to
just
that
changed her
list.
song.
Yeah, we just played the video. Should I play it again so she can see it?
Sure, sure, sure. Since she's here.
There we go.
you see it? Here we go.
Two brave voices on a glowing screen, sharing hope where the world's unseen. Echoes, laughter lights the day. Lucy's wisdom guides the way. With every word they break the chains, turning struggles into gains. Echo and Lucy. On their YouTube chat, the healing's real. Every soul they touch begins to heal. Echo and Lucy, shining true, helping the world, helping you. Stories told, the tears unwind. They listen close, they're gentle, kind. Every comment feels like home. No one ever stands alone. Dreams get mended, fears released. Through their voices, pain finds peace. Echo and Lucy, lifting hearts so high. Through the storm at a clear blue sky. On their YouTube chat, the healing's real. Every soul they touch begins to heal. Echo and Lucy, shining true, helping the world, helping you. When the night feels heavy and the world feels cold, their words are fire, their stories gold. They remind us all we can stand again, with kindness, courage, and a loving friend. Echo and Lucy, lifting hearts so high. Through the storm, they're the clear blue sky. On their YouTube chat, the healing's real. Every soul they touch begins to heal. Echo and Lucy, shining true.
So, what do you think? Oh, gorgeous, she says. Okay. Okay, so she approves. Is it me? I can't hear you.
Okay. Oops. All right. So that I kind of did that in the middle of the night,
Okay.
and I thought I had already done the video. We had talked about it, but that didn't get finished. So in the middle of the night last night, I was like, I need to put that video in Restream so we can play it tomorrow. And can you hear me now? Yeah. Okay. Okay. Because now they're saying
Yes.
Echo is muted. Anyhow, I'll go back in and tweak it. And Lucy told me that I forgot to have Chloe's picture in there. So I got to do that anyway, add her picture to it. So I'll go in and tweak it a little bit. But anyway, let's talk about aromatherapy. You see my little doohickey
Okay.
here?
All right. Ah, what is that?
And it,
Oh, that's a diffuser.
yeah. And this one is called Find Clarity. And it is lemongrass and bergamot. And it almost smells like
Okay.
men's cologne. It's what it reminds me of. But anyway,
It smells like what?
men's cologne. It kind of smells
Oh,
like
okay.
that. Um,
Yeah, it's because it's got that woodsy, that bergamot.
yeah,
It's got woodsy.
this
But the lemongrass is supposed to be a stimulant.
and this little diffuser I got from Ollie's on clearance or markdown or whatever for like $5. It has a little night light that changes colors, and then you can hit the button to make it
Oh,
put
that's
the
cool.
scent out there. And the little bottles were like $1.50 a piece, and I think I got like 3 or 4 different ones. But that's my extent with
Okay.
aromatherapy, other than candles. So
Izzy is asking a question. Izzy, that is her fur baby, her little pup. She also has her own channel. She's asking
oh
about
yes, Chloe.
who's missing? Who's missing from the video?
Yes.
She has her own channel as well. So it'll
Yes.
be up here,
Chloe the
and
Chewini.
some things are going on it a lot more. So yeah, it's her fur baby.
Yes. She remember I said she had 77 watch hours? Now she has
Okay.
97 watch hours. So just those couple of
Yay,
live
we're
streams that we did
getting there.
got her 20 hours already. So yes, I will be
Good. Good,
continuing to
good,
do
good.
that. Yes, Chloe the
Uh-huh.
Chewini. I have a little fireplace diffuser. I love it. Yes. Oh, and BJ says he has incense but can't use them as they set off the fire alarm. Oops. Yeah, I would probably have that problem too. Matter of fact, when the
Yes.
hurricane came through, my daughter and we decided we would play cards with candles, and we lit about 20 candles, and it set my fire alarm off. So it's like, yeah, that doesn't really
Yeah.
help. You kind of need a battery operated some kind of light source for, those kind of things.
Well, I have the old oil lamps. So when my power goes out, I light a bunch of antique. I have
Yeah,
antique
I used to
garbage everywhere.
collect
So I have
those.
like 20 oil lamps. And I just light them. Yeah.
I
And it also gives the
love
illusion of
oil
being
lamps.
warm. Those
Yes,
power always goes out
yes,
when it's cold.
yes. And I had a whole bunch of them, and I guess some over the years of moving and stuff, I think some got broken, and then I kind of stopped collecting them. But I was really into kind of like the vintage kind of stuff, like old farmhouse kind of thing, and all. So I like that kind of stuff. All right, Izzy, thank you. Thank you very much. Hey, Tasty
Oh, tasty
Peanut,
peanut.
how are you?
Peanut here.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So I've got a bunch of those. But most of them I have are from my grandmothers, my great aunts, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it's just passed down. Yeah,
Yeah, and if I
yeah.
ever
I ended
go
up
like
getting all those things for the rest of my family.
if I ever go to like an estate sale or something and see any, I'm gonna pick some up because I think that would be the thing to have. Thank goodness we have a LED
Yeah,
strobe type of fire alarm here that's hooked into the building's fire system. I wouldn't be able to hear it. That's true, BJ. That's true.
yeah.
Oh, Izzy came over to my side. She said she's putting in the watch time on both of us. Thank you. Thank you. Thank
She's so
you. She
sweet.
said we're in stereo. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought you were going to eat, honey. Oh, she's in stereo
Yeah.
now.
Okay.
She's so
So,
funny.
what can you tell us about aromatherapy?
Well, there's a lot of things. It's like with that homemade facials, I can go all different directions. Um, Videos on um, one kind of uh, essential oil, which is the um, basically what you're using is the infusion. So you can use it in your thing because that's basically what it is. It's oil with the essential oils in it. But aromatherapy, it depends on where you want to go, what you want to get out of it. You know, it really does. I mean, you can get calm, you can get um, stimulated. Like with mints and it's things like that. Mostly mints will get you going. Uh, so you can use any of those things. You can use them in your mask. You can use them in your scrubs. You can use them in anything. You can use them in your hair products, whatever. But it depends on what it brings to you. It's back to that olfactory again. All it's about is that olfactory, and it'll bring to you whatever um, feeling you want to bring or uh, calm, suppress. So it just depends on what you want to do. I mean, there's different kinds. Like I said, there's the woodsy is usually the calming ones. You know, the woodsy smells like the sandalwood and the cinnamon, the cloves, things like that. The woodsy kind of smells. Those are the calming ones. You know, the pumpkin pie smell, folks. That's good.
Hey, well, it
But
is time for pumpkin
right?
spice for sure. For sure. Hi, Bud
Yes,
Files.
it's that time, and it's those smells.
I was just looking, they're having a chat about watch time. Okay. Um, so when you say we can put them in anything like that, we're making a facial mask or hair, whatever, it's an actual
Uh huh.
oil, the essential oils, and we don't have to put them in another oil, or do we have to mix them with something else?
Use well. To be honest with you, if you buy pure essential oil, when it says pure essential oil, and it's going to be pure, that little jug you just showed me is going to be about $30 to $40.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So what you have there is already blended with
Yeah.
carrier oils. It's already blended with, and maybe olive oil or coconut oil. So it's already blended. It's already uh, diluted. So it won't
Okay.
be that bad on your skin.
Okay.
A direct um, essential oil, pure essential oil, is really, really, really strong. Really strong. Do not, folks, do not use that directly on your skin. Do not inhale it. Do not use it directly if it's pure, you know. But like I said, a little 1.5 ounce. I don't know how everybody else measures. 1.5 ounce is going to cost you $30 to $40. Rose pure essential oil, it probably costs you about $150.
Wow.
Yeah, it's the most expensive one. Is rose,
Wow. Uh,
just like Mother's Day.
yeah. Okay. So, um, let's see what these notes say. It
Yeah, I like fall
says
scents too, Tiff.
um, physical benefits. You can use it for pain relief. It says essential oils like lavender, eucalyptus, and peppermint are known for their analgesic properties. They can help relieve headaches, muscle pain, and joint pain when applied topically or inhaled.
Now, I knew a woman that was with child, and she was going through the morning sickness. And she would take peppermint oil and carry it with her and smell it, and it would calm her morning sickness so she could start her day. So she carried it with
Wow.
her all day long for the first 4 months. She carried, and every once in a while she go, and she, So peppermint oil does work for that. Uh, Eucalyptus is really good for things like that. Wintergreen, as you said, is really good for aches and pains. Um, Witch hazel is good for aches and pains as well as sterilizing things. So, which is
Um,
also a very
One of
intense.
the people that I
Yes.
follow that had the bariatric surgery, she smells alcohol wipes for her nausea.
Okay.
Like when she feels nauseated, she'll just smell the alcohol wipe, and she says it takes the nausea feeling away. I don't know. I was so lucky with mine because I never was nauseous at all. So I know a lot of people that have any kind of bariatric surgery, they have a lot of nausea and vomiting and things like that. And I was really blessed not to have any of that. So I
Yeah.
didn't have to worry about that.
Yeah.
All right. And it says improved sleep. Lavender and chamomile oils are particularly effective in inducing relaxation and improving sleep quality. Aromatherapy can aid those struggling with insomnia by calming the nervous system. Oh, that's an idea.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. You're going to hear a lot about lavender. You're going to hear a lot of it. It's very popular. I'm not a
Mhm.
lavender person. I'm just not a lavender person. But
See,
yeah,
and
lavender is supposed to be
I
very
don't know what
calming. A
scent
lot
I
of
would
people swear by
like.
it.
You know,
I'm sorry.
I would have to try them to know. Let's see, enhanced immune function. Some essential oils, such as tea tree and eucalyptus, have antimicrobial properties. They can help boost the immune system, making the body more resilient against infections. Okay.
Yeah, when I have a scrape or a scratch on my arm or something like that, or even something, I have tea tree oil. I always have tea tree oil. I love the smell. It's very calming to me, and I'll
Oh,
smear it on me. I use it constantly.
hmm.
I love
All
it.
right. And mental and emotional
Yeah,
benefits,
but
stress
again,
reduction.
ylang ylang is a very common smell, and it's calming smell. Excuse me, it's a very common ylang ylang. I don't know if you saw something on that one. It's a very calming one as well. I love that smell.
Okay. Aromatherapy is widely used to manage stress and anxiety.
You can
Oils
also do
such
the stimulating.
as uh-huh, uh, the lavender, bergamot. I don't know if I'm saying that right, and the yang yang or lang lang can promote relaxation and reduce stress levels by influencing the limbic system in the brain, which controls emotions. Ah.
Uh-huh.
Mood enhancement, citrus oils like lemon, orange, and grapefruit, known to have uplifting effects on mood. They can help combat feelings of depression and provide a sense of well being.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Increased focus and clarity. Peppermint and rosemary oils are known to enhance concentration and cognitive performance. They are beneficial for students or professionals who need to maintain focus and clarity. I might need some of that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hello,
It
Brandy.
just depends on
Welcome.
what you want. I mean, you
Yeah.
can, yeah. I mean, you can do, you can do like a lot of people will in the mornings if they shower in the mornings. They do like a mint body wash, you know, or they'll do something with uh, lemon or something like that. And what it is it's stimulating you. It's waking you up along with the shower. Is that effectiveness it has? Oh, hi, hi, Brandon. Yeah. So, like I said, it just depends on what you want or what you want to feel. Uh, yeah, the rosemary is a very popular one, and you had mentioned that the rosemary is a very popular one. Um, it's a nice stimulant. I like rosemary. I always keep it growing. Don't you have a rosemary plant? Did you put one in?
It died. I planted rosemary, but it died.
Oh, okay.
None of my herbs did very good. I don't know. I had tomatoes coming out everywhere, and I couldn't get the herbs to do much of anything. I really think it's the heat and the humidity here. I just don't think they liked it.
Yeah.
So,
Herbs are harder to grow than they say. I can't
yeah,
grow them. I can
I,
grow rosemary because it's just like a stick of bush.
yeah. I wonder if that's why when you get like an expensive body wash or even body lotion that has a really good scent to it, it's like the higher end stuff probably has more essential oil in it
Mm.
that makes it so much more fragrant. My
Yeah. Well,
sister.
like if you go in for a facial, anybody that's been in for a facial rooms have a smell. They just have this one smell. And you know it as soon as you walk in the door, you know it's a facial room. You know that smell when you walk in there is ylang ylang. They use it all the time. And like I said, it's just a calming. It's weird sounding name, but it's just a calming. So they use it all the time. But that's the smell. That's the smell. So it does different things do, like I said, like the high end body washes, the high end hair shampoos, things like that. Uh, oh my gosh, the conditioner. I was going to say cream rinse. I was going to show my age.
Hi, Anfield Road. Welcome.
Oh, don't say that. Don't say that. That's the reason I paused. I went, no, not cream rinse.
Well, my sister, um, she likes nice things. And she sent me one
Okay.
year for my birthday this body, uh, like shower gel stuff. And it
Uh-huh.
had the most amazing scent. I'd never smelled anything like it before. And I loved it. It made the best lather and it was wonderful. And so I was like, when I was almost finished with it, I thought, well, let me look it up and maybe I'll, buy me some more because I really liked it. $75 for this itty bitty bottle. I was like, yeah, leave it to my sister to give me something like that. But I don't even know, I
Yeah.
don't even remember. I don't think I was reading labels back then to even really know what, was even in it or anything. But it had to have something because it was just wonderful. I mean, it was so good, you could smell it on yourself, long after your shower was done. You would,
Yeah, but it didn't
no,
overwhelm
it
you,
wasn't. It was like
right?
just very pleasant,
Yeah.
but it was like you would be like, oh, that smells good.
Let me smell
Yeah,
myself.
let me see how that's smelling. Yeah. But it was to me that was a little extravagant for my taste, but I like Suave and stuff, the cheaper the better,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
All right, for skin
Yeah.
health it says essential oils like tea tree and rose hips can improve skin conditions such as acne, eczema, and aging. They are often included in skincare products due to their healing and rejuvenating properties. And for hair care, it says oils like rosemary and lavender can promote healthy hair by moisturizing the scalp and stimulating hair growth. They can also help with dandruff and other scalp issues.
Uh-huh.
And I think you mentioned last time about the dandruff shampoo that if you use dandruff shampoo, it'll make you have more dandruff or keep the dandruff.
Well,
It won't
yeah,
actually,
well, you can use unscented shampoo that you like, and you can put the essential oils in there to have the properties that you want for um, scalp healing. We'll put it that way, scalp healing. So you can put whatever you want, just get unscented shampoo or whatever, even like I said, the conditioner, you can get unscented and put in whatever you want. You can make it your own, just like the homemade facials. You can make it your own.
yeah. Hmm. Hi, Shelley Travels.
And you can have
Welcome.
even a shampoo for the morning and a shampoo for the evening. So you can have the the lemons and the stimulants in the morning, and then have the calming ones with the lang lang and woodsy smells in the evening one. I mean, you could.
Yeah,
When it comes to aromatherapy, it's an open book. It really is. I mean, people say, "Well, this does this and this does this." Yeah, but it does other things too, depending on how you blend it
right.
together.
And that would be my luck. I would put a calming and a stimulant together, and my body would be going, what are we doing?
Find what smells good. Find what smells good too. Yeah. Does it make you feel calm? Does it calm your brain? You know?
Yes. All right. And it says for
Yeah.
holistic health benefits, balancing energy levels, aromatherapy can help balance energy levels by invigorating or calming the mind and body as needed. For instance, peppermint oil can energize, while lavender oil can soothe and calm. And you can use it to support meditation practices. Essential oil like frankincense and sandalwood can deepen meditation by helping to create a tranquil and focused atmosphere. Hmm.
I love me some sandalwood, but I think that's the old hippie in me.
I was going to say
No, do patchouli oil. I'm not crazy about patchouli oil.
the only sandalwood I think I've ever smelled is in incense. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, it's really popular. It's another popular
yeah.
one, but that's considered a woodsy smell, so it's a calming.
Well, the power of scent is, so strong.
Well,
We could,
yeah, the olfactory is a strong thing. It really is. It's right there,
yeah,
and it's really strong. I mean, if you want to talk about that, it's like I'll go into a grocery store or a drugstore or something like that, and this lady will pass me by, and all of a sudden I'm smelling this, and it's called. Uh, Maybe some of you old timers remember this emerald. My grandmother wore that smell, and as soon as it hits me in the face, her memory comes back to me. Now she's been gone close to 30 years,
oh,
but that smell and she's just right back with me. So, yeah, the olfactory is a strong thing, and it can bring back
yeah,
uglies as well. So
yeah,
we want to keep the
yeah.
positive.
Well, and that's the thing about it. We live using all five of our senses, and it could trigger something, whether it
Yeah.
be a smell or a sound or, even just the way something feels or anything like that. And I think that's why the more you get in tune with yourself, the more you see those kind of things, bringing back memories or, helping you to be able to remember things. Um,
Uh-huh.
and it's funny how you cannot even think about something for years and years and years, like with my dad and his shaving stuff. And then it's like as soon as I thought about it, it was like I could smell it. It was like it was right there, that smell.
Oh
And
yeah.
I hadn't thought about that
Isn't
in many years.
but isn't that the first thing that comes to you? Is that smell?
Yeah,
Smell and
yeah.
then the feeling, the emotion that comes with it.
Hmm. Hello, Stephanie. Welcome. Yeah, I definitely can remember the way, and even like he was in charge of making the turkey and the dressing for Thanksgiving, and he would always have us kids help him make the dressing or
Okay.
stuffing, whatever you want to call it, and they wouldn't buy the already cubed up bread, the dried
Oh,
bread to make it. They would buy
yeah.
wheat bread and white bread and they would lay it out and let it get stale. And then we had to break it up to
Uh-huh.
make
That's
the
why we made it.
stuffing. And I can remember the smell of celery because
Oh.
he would put celery and onions and sage in the dressing.
Oh, and see.
And he would
That's
take
another good
the
smell.
the neck and the parts out of the turkey and boil
Uh-huh.
those, make a broth, and then
Right?
he would put that broth in and put eggs, some raw eggs, in there too to kind of help. get it together or whatever. But anyway, I can remember all of those smells. And any time that I have ever made anything like that, that had those combination of, things in it, I always think about that.
Uh-huh.
Like, oh,
Yeah,
my dad making stuffing.
the hot peeled boiled eggs along with the smell of the sage. Yes,
Hmm.
I can see that.
Brandon said, my grandmother used to wear perfume that smells like roses, and anytime I smell an older woman wearing that, it reminds me of her. Yeah,
Aw,
yeah. My Aunt
see,
Pat used to
see,
wear
and
taboo.
you do. You'll be walking through the grocery store, and all of a sudden, a smile will come on your face.
Have you ever heard of that? Taboo? I
What's that?
think it's TABU,
Taboo? Oh
taboo,
yes, oh yes. I know
taboo.
people that still wear
It's
it.
like a
Ooh,
it's like
that's
a
nice.
musky, like a musk. Uh,
It's strong.
it's very strong. But my Aunt Pat wore that, and it was like,
Exactly.
she did too much of it. And I always was like, oh no. And she would always say, don't you want to try something? No, 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 no. I do not like that. But I noticed my granddaughter likes to spray different, sprays on her and use different lotions. And she'll sit there
Okay.
and smell them and be like, oh, that smells so good. Yeah.
Do they still
I
make
think,
Love's Baby Soft? Maybe you could
I
go
don't
that direction
know,
with
but,
her. I used to
and
love that stuff. That was
there is a perfume, and I don't remember what it's called, but one of my cashiers used to wear it, and it smelled just like cotton candy. And
ooh.
every time I would, be around her, I would be like, I want cotton candy so bad. And it was just that smelled just like at the fair when they would make the cotton candy in the big vat
Uh-huh.
thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's an interesting thing, and it does, like you said, even just her cologne would take you to the fair, and it's just yeah, it
Yeah.
does. It takes you to different memories. So, I mean, it's supposed to be about aromatherapy, but olfactory takes care of so much. It really does. It
Yeah.
holds so much memory, and it could be good. It could be bad. It's just,
Okay. And let me ask you this
hopefully we don't
question.
bust good
Why
ones.
is it that I buy the air freshener from Bath and Body Works? The it's a plug-in thing, and
Okay.
I think it's called Wallflowers. Anyway, you buy the little thing and you screw it on there and you plug it in the outlet. Well, why is it that you don't smell it after a while? Yes. And then you don't smell it after a while, but if you leave your house and come back, then you can smell it. Why is that?
Right.
You just get used to the smell when
You
you're
get
in
used
the
to it.
smell?
You get used to the
Okay.
smell.
Hi, Joel.
And that's kind of
Welcome.
nice to do that because then you know how company smells your house. If you go back
Yeah.
and come back, then you know
Yeah.
the company smells. Okay, this is what the company is smelling. Okay, we're good with that. We're good.
Yeah. Now, my daughter has said that to me before. Um, that my house has a certain smell to it. And I mean, she likes
Uh
it,
huh.
but it's like, and I said, well, what does it smell like? It smells like your house, it's just like that's your house, what your house smells like. And sometimes she'll
Uh
say,
huh.
like, I have a certain scent, you know,
Uh
and
huh.
I'm like, but I'm not wearing like any particular thing. It's my combination of my deodorant and my body wash and whatever. But she's like, but you smell like my mama. It's like, okay. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess
Yeah.
we just get used to certain scents and we just,
Well,
you know,
and they say that even if it's one person in the house or house, whoever the most dominant personality in the house, that smell like. They'll smell like them.
huh,
That's what they. I don't
that's
know.
interesting.
I don't know. I haven't had a house full of people since I was 21, and it was party house, so I couldn't tell you. My house smells like me, like your house smells like you. It's just, yeah. But I think it's just us, and then we're in our homes. We go through emotions, which also give off a certain scent. So, but we do that mostly
Oh,
inside our walls. So that gives off a certain scent. So that it permeates the walls as well, if that makes sense. I don't want to go too far on a tangent.
and it is funny because I have definitely been in other people's homes and been like, "What is that smell?" Like you smell it's not necessarily something bad, but just you smell a smell and you're like can't place it. You're not sure what it is, but it obviously is a combination of you go nose blind to your familiar scents. I think yeah, that's
Yeah,
exactly
you
what
are.
it is. Can't You just
Yeah.
can't smell it anymore after a while. Let's see here.
And
Oops.
if you can smell yourself, you probably need a shower. Just a just a helpful hint. And that was just a helpful hint. A PSI there.
Thank you, BJ. BJ just sent me the picture. He's made the comment that he put a sign on his refrigerator that said "Science project in progress. Enter at your own risk." So he sent me it because I said I need a sign like that. So he sent me the
Oh,
image of
that's
it. So I
cute.
thank you. I
Yep.
needed that. Oh
That's
goodness.
adorable. That's adorable. Oh yeah.
I
My
do
fridge has been
I
there more
do
than
tend to
one, where it's just like I don't
put
know, don't
stuff
even want
in
to
there
open it.
and forget
Oh
about it. I just kind of forget,
Jake, you're
especially
very
since I've
clever.
had my weight loss surgery. I don't eat that much at one time, so I do have a lot of little containers with just a little bit left in them, and then sometimes I forget they're even in there, and then when I do clean it out, it's like, oh yeah, when was that? It's like that was a couple weeks ago or whatever. But I'm getting so much better now about putting it in the freezer. Like not even leaving it in the refrigerator, just like portion it out, put some in the refrigerator and put the rest up in the freezer. That way, then it'll last longer in the freezer. And if I want it, all I have to do is pull it out.
Yeah.
So
Especially if
I'm
there's
getting
time
better with that.
restraints or something where you don't have time and you're lightheaded.
Yeah. And I hate that when I've made something or I planned to have something,
Are we
and then
delayed?
somebody will say, well, let's go out to eat. And I'll go out to eat, but then whatever I get, it like lasts me for like 4 or 5 more meals. And so then it's like what I already had, I'm not going to eat that because I'm going to eat this, and so sometimes I'm kind of like, yeah, no, I don't need anything, thank you. I just eat what I got already. My granddaughter did not like the look of the chicken feet in the chicken broth. uh, she was like, "There's fingers in there." She's like, "Granny, why did you put fingers in your soup?" And I'm like, "No, no, no, they're chicken feet." I said, "But we're going to take them out." And I even took the bones out and kept the meat to give to the dog. But I didn't give her the chicken feet either. I took those out too. And but then when I wanted her to taste the broth, she was like, "Are you sure you took the feet out?" And I'm like, "Yes, the feet are not in there." And then she liked it. She was like, "That's really good." And I'm like, "Yeah, those chicken feet made it taste pretty good." But it was kind of funny looking with them in there. But using the rotisserie chicken, that kind of was pretty good idea because then I had got the meat off of it, and then I could use the bones for the broth. So that was pretty good. I thought I had
I
some
don't know where you
chicken
got
thighs
chicken
up
feet.
in the
Where
freezer.
would
I
you
was
get
going to
chicken
put
feet?
those. the chicken feet. Well, see, that's, I think down
Uh-huh.
here in the South, a lot of people eat it because you can find just about anything in the grocery stores when it comes to that. You can get the
Oh,
pig's
okay.
tail and pig's feet and chicken feet and all that kind of stuff. So,
Nothing goes to
but
waste.
hey, yeah, if it has collagen and cartilage and all that in it that is good for you, hey, I'll cook them. I don't care. Like I said, it made it taste really good. So, and I still don't know exactly what seasonings. I just like because he gave me all those seasonings, and I'm just like, yeah, some of this and some of that, and. But it all tastes good together. So I'm having fun, doing it. My
Good.
daughter's like, why are you making all this broth? And I'm like, because I'm drinking it and I like it. And I'm in the habit now of drinking it every morning. So
Nice.
I have to have it
That's
now.
good.
It's like part of my routine. I have to have my broth and then I have to have my coffee. And then after that,
Ooh, start your day with a big shot of protein. Nice. Between your
yeah,
protein powder and your coffee and your broth. Wonderful.
yeah, yeah.
So much better than a boiled egg every single morning. Ugh.
See, I couldn't do the same thing every day. Which I mean, I'm doing okay doing the broth and the coffee, but then when it comes to the eating, I mean, I like eggs, but I don't want an egg every day,
Yeah,
and it's like I want different things at different times. So,
yeah.
but that's one thing about it. You
Variety
don't
is the
have to
spice.
eat. You don't have to eat a certain thing. Like a lot of people were like, "Oh, that's breakfast food." Well, yeah, but if you want to have bacon and eggs for dinner, you can have bacon and eggs for dinner. I mean,
That's what my mother
breakfast
always said.
food, dinner food. I mean, it's, whatever kind of food you want to have, whenever you want to have it, just eat it.
Spaghetti for
Um,
breakfast. Yay! That was my favorite as a kid.
I wish that my mom had been a better cook and that we had more of a variety of dinners because I think she only probably knew how to make about a handful of things and she just kind of it was always just about the same. We didn't really it wasn't a whole lot of variation to now when my dad cooked on the weekends or whatever, he would make some strange uh concoctions. And I
I
think
like
that's
that.
where I kind of like I can remember my ex-husband asking me like, well, what is it? And it's like I would tell him what, because he grew up where, you had a piece of meat and then you had a vegetable and then you had a starch, but everything was identifiable what it was. I grew up
Uh-huh.
where we ate lots of big pots of stuff, like chili or vegetable soup or whatever. And so I kind of like mixing meat and vegetables and rice or pasta, and kind of make like a casserole type thing. I learned real quick my ex husband did not want his meat cut up in something, he wanted to
Oh, okay.
see the piece of meat.
A hunk of meat. Yeah. A lot of men are like that. A lot of men are
Like,
like
needs to be identifiable piece of meat, not
uh-huh.
in something else. But
But my mother was a very adventurous cook. Um, she was raised by Arkies, so we did chicken and dumplings and things like that, and beans and ham hocks and cornbread, and that's the way my grandmother cooked. And
mhm.
then my mother started cooking, and she ended up cooking Italian meals, Japanese meals, Korean meals, Hawaiian.
Oh,
She,
wow.
yeah, she just got really adventurous when it comes to. But that's her friends. That was her circle. She had all these different varieties of people that would come and bring her ideas of cooking. So, yeah. So I
Hi,
got,
Life Wanda. Welcome. Yeah, I mean, that's like what it is. If you had a mom or a grandparent or an aunt or, you know, anybody like that around you that cooked and cooked different things, you would learn how to cook different things from them. But like, I really didn't have anybody,
yeah.
um,
Well, and she worked full
like
time. I don't know how she had found time to do all these things, but my mother was quite busy. She was a busy beaver.
that. But that would be really fun to try different how to cook different things, different types of food and all. I'm just like such a chicken when it comes to I can cook for myself, no problem. But if somebody else is going to eat it, then I'm like, I have no confidence in it. It's like, yeah. Uh,
But I'm a mixture cook. I don't cook. Um, I don't cook by recipes because my mother never, she just kind of she still cooked darkyware, which threw things together and it made
yeah.
something. She did that even with different and that ethnicities. I can't say the word. Anyway, so I cook that way, and like people would come up to me and say, they would open the pot and they'd go, "Well, what is it? What do you make it?" And I'm like, "It doesn't have a name." I had a chicken and I had some oregano and I had some, and I put it in a pot and it doesn't have a name. But that's the way I cook. Like Seventh, he's a wonderful cook, but he cooks everything by recipe. Other Restraint cooks everything by recipe. I can't do that. And
The
it's
few
maybe because of her
times
that I've got adventurous about spices and stuff. Anyway,
Hello, Lisa Wright. Welcome.
I
The
think we got BJ hungry. He had to go get a sandwich.
Yeah, the few times I've tried to make something by a recipe, I have forgotten an ingredient. And I know they say get everything out, measure everything ahead of time, and but for some reason I would like forget something. And then when it was almost finished cooking, I would be like, what is that? Like,
Yeah,
what is that? Why is this still here and didn't get put in there? And I don't like recipes where you have to go and buy a bunch of stuff that you probably are never going to use on anything else. But for that particular recipe, you have to do it. And I love a recipe that says if you don't like a certain thing, you can omit it. But if you've never made it before and you don't know how it's supposed to look or how it's supposed to taste, you start omitting things, then, you know.
yeah.
So,
You don't know how
but
it's supposed to taste to begin with, so how you know if you want it, omit it unless you make it the first time at least.
yeah.
Yeah,
And hi, Deidre Gore. I always think that, I only will make a recipe if it has a picture in the cookbook because I want to see what theirs look like to see how mine's supposed to look. And I wish there was a way that, you could taste what it's supposed to taste like so
right.
you'll know, did I get close to it, or whatever. But I think a good cook can take any kind of ingredients and put it together and make it taste good.
Yeah,
And I don't know like flavor combinations and all of that, to be able to like be confident and say, oh yeah, I could throw that together and make something. But I have a ton of recipe books, cookbooks. I love cookbooks. I love to buy them. I love to read them. I just don't cook well from them.
right. Now, story about somebody that cooks well. This isn't a story, and I was told this all my life. Now, my grandfather goes to meet my grandmother. This is before they were married, and he goes up there, and he goes up. They were living in the hills of Arkansas, and he goes up there, And he says, now Ms. Presnell tells me, that's her mother, Ms. Presnell tells me, go down there and catch me a possum so we can have something to eat. So he goes down there and he gets a stick and he finds a hollow log and he pokes in there and he gets him a possum. So he's come back with a possum hanging on the stick. She
Hmm.
takes that possum. She goes, ooh, that's a good possum. She puts it away. A possum. Let's start with that. But anyway, she comes back, you know, hours later and got possum and dumplings. And he still, to the day he passed away. Now he was 20 when this happened, and he passed away when he was in his 80s. Till the day he passed away, he goes, now that was some good eating. She could cook. That was the best possum and dumplings I ever had.
See,
And
I
I
don't
couldn't
think I could even
do it.
eat it.
But it doesn't matter. If you're a good cook, you're a good cook.
Yeah,
You know? He
that's
said, the
true.
possum was always greasy. She did that good. Oh,
Yeah, I see. I would have a problem. And I mean, I know that there are a lot of different countries where people eat a lot of different things, but like even my mom would, fry chicken, and they would buy a rabbit cut up, and she'd fry a rabbit for my dad.
uh-huh.
I couldn't even eat the chicken because I was so afraid I was going to get rabbit instead of the chicken, even though it
Yeah,
looked like chicken. I was like, no, not for me. I'm a little chicken when it comes to that.
yeah.
But
But this is back, at the turn of the 20th century. This was in 22, 1922, about when this happened.
well,
Of
a lot of people eat like raccoons and
course. Yeah.
possums and squirrels and
Uh-huh.
uh, just all kinds of
And
different
my,
things.
my grandparents used to do frog gigging. If anybody knows what that is,
Mm-hmm.
they would just go gig the frogs, and my grandmother had a hot skillet going, and she'd just pants them and throw them. I mean, and that's a delicacy. You go to a French restaurant, and it's a big thing. Yeah, a recipe for squirrel. See, Deandre Gore. My gran has a cookbook that has a recipe for squirrel.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't. I think if I knew what it was, but now see, this is how a friend of mine got me to try snails
Okay.
because he did not tell me what it was. And for some reason, whatever it was he called it, I thought I had before. So I was like, "Oh yeah, I can eat that." Then after I ate it and he told me what it was, I was like, no, that wasn't what I thought. But it was good. I did eat it.
Uh,
But
yeah,
for
if
the
you like
last,
garlic, you can eat escargot. Frog
yeah.
gigging. It's a sport. I don't know what you would call it, but you go out at night with a flashlight, and you go out and you have this big long, usually it's bamboo, big long stick, and on the bottom of it, it has a three prong that looks like the devil's pitchfork. That's what it looks like at the bottom of it. And you go out with a flashlight, and you go to the water bed, the edges of the water, and you gig the frogs. You stab the frogs, and you throw them in this big satchel, and then you take them back to the wherever, and they cut the legs off, and then they call them depantsing them. They take a pair of pliers and they skin their legs, and then they batter them and fry them. Now, is everybody's stomach turned now? But that's what I was talking about. That's the reason I just said frog gigging and left it at
Oh wow.
that.
Tiff said my son-in-law hunts and we eat it. He sneaks it into food. We ate dove last week. And
Okay.
then
Oh,
Deirdre Gore said pigeon is still quite popular on this side of the pond in fancy restaurants. Now
oh,
I've heard of
really?
pigeon. Yeah,
Oh, okay. Yeah,
yeah.
she's in Ireland now, but she's from Africa.
Oh, wow. Okay. And then I always remember turducken, where they put a
Yeah,
chicken inside of a duck, inside of a turkey, and cook it. Yeah, no, not for me.
yeah.
Even though
First of
I
all,
would
it's too
cook
much
each
work.
of
I'm not
those
doing that much
separate.
work.
Yeah.
I got better things to do with my life than to do
But
all that work.
if you've ever been really hungry,
Oh yeah,
I think you could eat things that you normally would say, yeah, no, I don't think I would eat that. But I think if you're really hungry, you would eat just about anything.
oh
But
yeah. I've been to Mardi Gras where I've eaten snake and alligator and stuff like that. But that was not for a meal. That was to say I did it, so I don't ever have to do it again.
yeah. Now I had gator tail,
Uh,
illegal gator tail, because
ooh,
here in Georgia, I don't think you're supposed to get the tail. But anyway, uh,
yeah,
somebody I
you're
worked
awfully
with,
close to Florida, so I could see it
yeah,
being
but
endangered.
somebody I worked with, her husband cooked it, and um, she was like, "I'll bring you some if you want to try it." And I was like, "Oh yeah, sure," because they said, "Oh, it tastes just like chicken." Yeah, it was the most rubberiest chicken I ever had.
It all tastes like chicken. Everybody always says it
Says
doesn't
that,
matter what
yeah.
it is. It doesn't matter what it is. It all tastes like chicken.
No, BJ says he's eating kangaroo meat, and it was good.
Okay, I can see that. I don't think we have any Aussies in here. We could ask them, or Kiwis. That's from New Zealand. I don't think we have anybody in here today.
Well, as usual, our conversation has went.
We always do that.
somebody is
Aromatherapy to frog gigging. Let's go. Let's see how far we can get off.
somebody is going to pull this video up when it comes out as video, and somebody is going to see the title, and they're going to come to watch it, and they're going to fast forward, and they're going to hear us talking about eating kangaroos, and they're going to be like, what does that have to do with aromatherapy? It's like, well, it doesn't, but hey, it's our show. We can talk about whatever we want to talk about.
Ostrich. I've eaten crocodile,
Ooh,
and it was very boring. Ostrich, it was great though. I have got to come
I don't
visit
think
you,
it was
Deaudrey. I have got to come visit you.
ostrich. I now I've never had it, but sometimes you'll see like an ostrich egg or a turkey egg or something like that. And there's
Duck,
some other
duck
kind of
eggs.
egg that they'll
I think it
have.
is good.
Maybe it is ostrich. Emu is emu lay an egg? Wait, I don't know. Lemongrass
Lemongrass
kangaroo.
kangaroo. There we go, honey.
I bet it smells good while it's cooking, but
You're right. Yeah, I always picture kangaroos because of the cartoons. I always picture them in their back tail, having the
Mm,
fights in the cartoons.
yeah.
That's the way I always picture kangaroo. Lemongrass
I
kangaroo.
read my granddaughter, the book this weekend called "The Saggy Baggy Elephant."
Oh, that's cute. That's a cute name.
Yeah, and it's one of those little golden books, and it's about a baby elephant, but he doesn't know that he's an elephant because he's lost in the jungle, and he doesn't know that he's an elephant, and he doesn't realize that his skin is supposed to be saggy and baggy, and he keeps trying to pull his pants up, and then when he lets go, of course, it goes right back down.
Oh, yeah, I can
So
identify. I can identify.
Then he meets a herd of elephants, and then he realizes that he is exactly what he's supposed to be, an elephant. But anyway, it was a very cute little story. It was the book
I love
fair
it.
at her school. So when I went Friday and had lunch with her, we went to the book fair, and I bought her about 5 or 6 different books. And then she likes those No David books. And I had got one from our library here. And then my daughter checked out 2 of them from the school library. And
Uh-huh.
then all the books that I already have. And so this whole weekend, I mean, it was like, read me this book, read me this book. So I can just about recite those No David books word for word because I had to read them so many times. But they do teach a good lesson that no matter what you do, you should always tell the truth because you'll get in trouble twice if you lie. And no matter how bad you are, your mom and dad will still love you. They might not like what you do, but they will still love you when it's over. And I would tell Anna East, I said, I'm going to write a book called No Anna East because you do things like poor day. And she's getting in that stage right now that I can just flat tell her no and she'll do it anyway.
Ooh, she's testing the boundaries.
And then and I'll be like, didn't I'm pretty sure I said no, but I just want to. Well, I don't care what you want. We're not doing that. But she's quick and she'll grab, I'll say, no, you don't need that. And she'll grab it and be like, I'm like, oh no, what happened to Granny said no and no, that was it. Now it's like Granny says no and it's like, well, but I want to, so I'm going to anyway.
Yep, yep. Showing her independence.
I'm like, And then, oh my goodness, she has learned so many things at school. I mean, it's just like somebody turned a switch on. And now she's constantly doing little dances and singing little songs and, just,
Nice. I'm glad she's taking it all in
yeah, she
and bringing it
is.
home to share. So it means she's enjoying it. That's
Yeah,
wonderful.
yeah, she's having a ball. She's having an
Good.
absolute ball. But now, when I was there Friday with her, she is afraid of those teachers and those other kids. And she is like a little soldier. Like she don't open her mouth. She don't. I mean, she just does exactly what they say. So we go. They had the gym set up with decorated with tables and stuff, and we went through the lunch line and got the tray, and then we went over to the gym part, and the kids got to go over there if they had a parent or grandparent there. And so
Uh-huh.
we get over there and we're sitting there and she's eating and she's like still quiet. And I'm like, Anais, you can talk to Granny. It's okay. And she's like, oh no, when you eat, you do not talk. And I'm like, oh, okay. But it's like she's like brainwashed now. Like, you follow the rules, you do exactly. And when we went to the
Wow.
line, they give them their tray for the pre-K kids already fixed with everything on it. The older kids go through and they can say, I want that, or I want that, or I don't want that, or whatever. And so the teacher said everything she needed was on that tray. So we got the tray and we left. And we're sitting there, and here comes one of the cafeteria ladies, and she's got this little cup of pineapples. And she's like, she didn't get her fruit. And I was like, hey, they said we had everything we needed.
Right.
She's like, no, no, no. She was supposed to get a cup of fruit. I'm like, okay, sorry. It's like, first time here. I don't know any of these rules. I don't know what we're supposed to
Right.
do or whatever. But it was funny to me, like, oh, the one lady is telling me, nope, that's it, go. You got everything you need. And then the other lady's like, but you didn't get your fruit. I'm like, okay. But my granddaughter actually ate some of the food. I was really surprised because every day that I've asked her, what did you have for lunch? She'll say, I had some stuff. Like she doesn't
Okay.
know. what it is. It's not anything
Right.
recognizable that she knows what it's called.
But
They had
everybody else is eating it, so it's got to be okay.
yeah, they had stewed tomatoes and okra
They're
and
giving
rice.
babies that?
Yeah, stewed tomatoes and
Okay.
okra, rice, lima beans, and then I think it was like a pork roast, like uh, almost like shredded up pork with brown gravy on it.
Okay.
Different, but she tried everything and she ate one of the tomato pieces of tomato, but she was like, "Yeah, I don't like that other green stuff." And I was like, "Yeah, I don't like okra like that either. I like fried okra, but I don't like
Okay.
stewed okra."
Yeah.
But she ate the lima beans. She
Still
was
would have
like,
the
"Yeah."
slime.
She likes green beans, so I guess she likes the lima beans too.
Isn't that
But she
interesting?
likes
My
meat.
my my school would never even dream of feeding us that. It would be flung across the room or something.
Yeah, but she definitely likes her meat. If you give her, you know, like roast or steak or hamburger or chicken or whatever, she likes to eat meat. And she's definitely a meat eater. She'll eat the meat. She likes her
Oh,
vegetables too, but she likes the meat too. So,
good. Good, good, good.
which is good for me because I always have meat. Some kind
Yeah.
of meat cooked. So it's like, okay, you want some meat? Good, here you go. And I've got her to where she'll eat soup now too, because I do eat soup.
Oh,
So she'll eat, soup
yeah.
but
That's a special
she's
skill of cooking a right kind of broth. It
yeah,
really is. Yeah.
she's kind of bad about saying she wants something and then after you fix it for her, I don't really want that. I want something else, or whatever.
Uh oh.
So I said this weekend, I told her, I said, we're going to stop doing this. You know, it's not more Granny's going to cook you something, constantly. We're going to have something for breakfast, something for lunch, something for dinner. And I'll try to make it something that you like. But if you don't want to eat it, you know, that's it.
Uh-huh.
You're not going to have anything to eat. All right, Lisa, have a great day.
Wedding.
A wedding to attend. Oh, fun.
Yes. So you get all
Fun.
dressed up and all
Yeah,
that
I love
fun.
weddings.
All that joy in
So,
the day.
um, but yeah, I was like, okay, and then as soon as I would fix something and we'd sit down to eat, and then she'd say, "Can I eat something?" That's what we're eating. I just fixed
Yeah.
it. That's what it is. I just want something else. I'd be like what? I don't know. Something in the cabinet. I'm like, and she was looking at all the canned food when we were cleaning out the cabinets. And I was like, she's gonna have me opening all these cans of food up because she's gonna be like, I want some of that. Like, no, we're
I
not
like
doing
anything but tuna and pork. Yeah, they both have very strong flavors. Tuna and pork. They both have very strong flavors. Now you'll eat other fish. I mean, is it tuna in a can or is it a tuna? Because tuna
I
in a
think,
can and tuna is two different kinds of tuna.
yeah. Well, I mean, most people, it's canned tuna. And I really think it depends on what you like. If it's in, I like mine in water. It's not doesn't
Uh,
taste as fishy if it's in water. But now I like the taste of fish. But for some reason, if the tuna fish is too fishy tasting, I don't like it.
yeah, I don't eat fish. Never have been much of a. I don't eat crab. It's all that brain food. You can tell, folks. I don't eat that.
When my
See,
daughter
there's
was
one piece of the puzzle, guys.
when my daughter was growing up, one time at the grocery store, she wanted to pick something for us to cook, and she picked tuna tetrazzini hamburger helper. And I
Okay.
tried to tell her, it doesn't have hamburger in it. You put tuna in it.
Yeah.
Well, she still wanted to get it and she still wanted to cook it. And basically, it's like spaghetti noodles and tuna in a sauce, basically, what it is. Do you know that to this day, she will buy that and fix it for herself? And she doesn't really cook, but she
Uh,
loves Hamburger Helper tuna tetrazzini. It's like,
okay,
she loves it.
it's
And
getting
I'm
tuna
like,
in her. Let her do it, right?
yeah. But I was like, you are not going to eat this because my daughter's quite picky when it comes to things, you
Uh
know.
huh.
And then she'll even do spaghetti, but she'll use Italian sausage instead of ground beef.
Okay, that's
And they
nice.
like that.
That's
They like
nice.
that. And she'll make spaghetti. She probably cooks about 10 different things.
Okay.
But she doesn't really have the time, to
Well,
do it.
yeah, yeah,
She's pretty
yeah.
busy.
Well, and people think she's a teacher. She gets off at this time. Yeah, but you still have to go home. You have to grade papers or whatever. You have to make plans for the next day. You can't just walk in there cold. You have to
Yeah.
have plans. You have to have a plan. You have to submit it sometimes to the faculty and to the board, and so it's constant. It's constant, and then you have meetings all the time. So school teacher is a lot of work.
Yeah.
A lot of work
There's a lot of things they have to do that people don't see.
behind the
And I think
scenes.
a lot of people think it's just basically babysitting kids in a classroom. They don't realize all of the other things
Uh,
that they have to do. Deontry Gore says salmon is really good value here in Ireland, so I can finally follow my doctor's orders to eat as much salmon as possible.
and salmon is really high in omega 3s.
Yes,
So wonderful,
yes,
very good, sweetheart. That'll help a lot of. I don't know why your doctor's having you, but it'll even help with your joints. Keep your joints lubricated and stuff like that. Help your skin. Yeah, it's full of
yeah.
omega 3s. Yeah.
Now, are you talking canned salmon or like fresh caught salmon? I know there's a difference too, but
Oh, that's true. I
yeah,
was thinking fresh salmon. I was
yeah.
thinking
The only
salmon.
salmon I've ever had has been like in salmon patties, which they
Uh
use canned salmon.
huh. Uh-huh.
Um, I
Yeah,
don't
I
know
made
why.
those before.
I don't know what salmon tastes like actual fillet of salmon, like the actual fish. I don't know what it tastes like. I should try it though. Next time I go to Red Lobster, I should get it and try it.
Yeah. Yeah, I've
'Cause
cooked salmon patties before. I've cooked crawfish etouffee. Now, has anybody eaten a crawfish? Crawdad. Depends on where you're
crawdad,
from. Crayfish.
yes. Omega-3 is
you
good
you
for
know what's crawdads?
cholesterol too. Fresh salmon or
Yes,
frozen.
it
Okay.
is. Yeah, it is. It'll lower your cholesterol and it'll raise your good cholesterol. Yes, it
And I could probably make it in my air fryer.
will. Yeah.
Hello, Misha. She said, I just had salmon at Longhorn. Oh, wow. I didn't know they had salmon there. Uh, Salmon and peanut butter sandwiches are good, BJ
Oh,
says.
okay. Stop with the peanut butter again. Didn't we, BJ, didn't you talk about peanut butter and onions the other day?
Yeah, he was talking about peanut butter and onions. Misha said, I never heard of that combo. Yeah. If you have a weak stomach, you're lucky you missed our previous conversation because we were talking about a lot of strange delicacies.
Misha, we're all over the place. I know it's Self Care Sunday and it's supposed to be about aromatherapy, but we have gone the gambit on this show.
Hey, but it's all self care because laughter is very important self care.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
hanging out with your friends is very important self care. So,
He says
fresh
yum.
seared tuna and peanut butter could work. Ooh, no,
Okay.
no. Mm-mm.
Hi, sweetheart.
I just don't.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. That's just, ooh, I don't know.
But I will
I don't, do
say,
you, DeAndre Gore, do you even have peanut butter over there? I know some places in Europe, they don't have peanut butter as a regular thing. You know, it's not. It's not a regular thing over there. It's an us thing. But maybe from South Africa, maybe she got turned on to it. I don't know.
it
I
is
don't know.
nice just to hang out. I'll tell you what, sometimes I just wish that we all lived in the same vicinity at least, that we could just go and have coffee or
We know that here.
go shopping but if you do a Asian fusion thing with unsweetened peanut butter sounds okay.
Oh,
Now
okay.
I have done that before. I like teriyaki flavor in my Asian stuff,
Uh
and
huh.
I have put peanut butter in the sauce,
Oh, yeah.
and it's really good.
Sometimes
Uh,
I do that recipe. But
yeah,
DeAudrey, as you probably know, everything here in the States has sugar in it. Everything. To the bread, to the everything has sugar in it.
what
So,
is Marmite?
Who's talking about Marmite? Holy
Dr. Gore
smokes!
said plenty
It's
of peanut
yeast.
butter
It's
here
yeast. It's
and
fermented
Marmite.
yeast.
What is Marmite?
Yes. You don't touch Marmite, honey. It's rough. It's rough. Plenty of peanut butter here and Marmite. Oh, okay. Oh, that's yeah, yeah. It's a rough thing. I'll send you a video of it. It's hard. It's yeah. You got to be hardcore.
Uh-oh.
I'm Pennsylvania Dutch. Okay.
Look what I got at Ollie's. They had must have bought out. Hello, Austin. Welcome. Marmite is a yeast extract that people either love or hate. It's weird. I can
Yes,
imagine.
yes, it is. And I mean, when she says hate, it yeah, it's
But
it's you know
Ollie's had
literally.
like a closeout of like art supply type stuff. Anyway, so
Okay,
I got these markers, and it's got a fat tip on one end, and then it's got a like a pin
a
tip.
fine tip.
Hmm.
Oh, well, that's good.
Okay,
At least
there
it
we
won't
go.
dry out.
So it has the fine tip on that end.
Oh,
So
okay.
it's the same color, but you can do the fat tip or the fine tip. And I
DeAndre
think
Gore,
I
what does
paid
his breath smell like after he's eaten it? Let's get into this.
I think I paid
Everyone,
$2.99.
kiss him.
You get
Oh,
12 of
I'm
them.
sorry. You have to go brush your teeth. Those are pretty.
American Crafts in
I love the colors.
Linden, Utah. I've been really looking at labels because so many things are from countries you would not even, you wouldn't even think, you would just think, oh, this is American made product.
Uh,
No. And even if it is an American company, a lot of times it is made in foreign countries.
right. Ah, Austin.
So,
Yeah, a lot of things that's made somewhere, but it's put together here. Yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
Or,
okay.
or it'll say distributed by, like,
Exactly.
you know, and you
Yeah.
think, okay, it's distributed by, so that means it was made there. No, not necessarily. But I never really paid much attention to the labels on things.
Well, now since you're eating the way you are, I'm sure you're more of a label reader. You
Yeah,
know,
because
it
especially
kind of flows
I
into
like,
other things. It's kind of curiosity now. Now you're going to read it.
yeah,
Yeah.
and I want to know what all is in it. Like especially things I can't pronounce, or I'm
Yeah.
like I've never heard of that before. It's like what is that? And
Right.
I tend to look things up more. Like if I see
Good.
something and I'm like, that's, what is that? Whatever. It's like, it takes me a long time to grocery shop because I
Good.
can't just,
Good. Invest in
unless
what you're
it's like
putting in
a
your body.
whole,
It's important.
yeah, like if it's like meat or vegetable or fruit or something, like that, they can't put nothing in or whatever, then, but um, if it's anything packaged. It's like
Yeah.
I'm reading those ingredients, man, and I'm like trying. And there, I thought all packages had to have the calorie count and the, like your nutritional facts on it.
Okay.
Do you know that some products it gives you an 800 number to call to get the nutritional facts?
Wow. What are they hiding? That's the first
That's
thing I
what
would
I
think. What are they hiding?
and I was like,
Where? I'm
what
glad
if
you're
I
here.
don't have time to call you to ask
That's the
you,
point.
you know?
That's the
So
point.
then I have no clue as to what, it is.
What I'm putting
And
into my body. Yes.
I use this app on my phone where I record everything, and it's got a barcode scanner. So if you have a barcode for the item, you
Uh huh.
can scan the barcode, and that will tell you. Uh, like you can put if you know what
Or a
the
QR
item
code.
is or you've had it before, it'll save it for you. But if you don't know what it is, you can scan the barcode and then it'll tell you the all the the nutritional facts on it or whatever. Um, and then
Right.
sometimes you just have to like type in what it is and just kind of scroll through the choices until you find the closest thing to whatever it is.
Right.
But
Yeah. It's amazing what they sneak in on us.
yeah.
You know, I got to be a really big uh, label reader when I quit drinking, and you got especially like OTC, over the counter medicines and things like that, and even regular food, and it's amazing. you know, you just start reading labels, and that's what got me going in reading labels, because I wasn't about to put something into my body that may make me slip without me even realizing it. So I started reading a bunch of
Mm.
labels. Then that just kind of propelled, like you're doing. It just propels you into reading more labels and what else is out there. What is this? And well, I understand what these are, but what is this one? And why is it the
Yeah.
first one? You know? So obviously it's got the most of it in this thing.
Yeah.
Why? Why is that there?
Yeah.
When it's calling a juice, why is that name right there?
And it's just to me, it's just really funny how like sugar has so many names. Like they don't just say sugar. They'll
Oh no.
they'll put some weird name in there, and you're like, hmm. Then you look that word up, and you're like, so basically sugar. Why didn't you just say
Yeah.
sugar? Why did you make me
Uh-huh.
think it had
Salt is the same way.
you know something else in it, whatever.
Salt is the
Yeah,
same way. It'll be all these different names. It's just a different processing, so they can label it a
yeah,
different name. That's all. Yeah,
yeah. And I mean,
it's interesting.
if
It's
you
interesting
if
how
you
they slip
really
it in.
think about it, it's kind of like the blind leading the blind when we just blindly buy things, whether we've seen an advertisement for it or somebody has told us or we've seen somebody with a product or something, and we just, oh, I'll try that, and then you don't really
Uh-huh.
even realize what you're putting in your body. And then when you do start reading labels, you're like, okay, I can't find anything I'm willing to eat. It's like I
Right?
spend all this time looking at all this stuff, and I guess it's kind of like um, you start realizing how bad everything you used to eat really was for you. And then it's like, oh, I could never eat that now. It's like, man,
Right?
that was a staple. I ate that all the time. And then
Oh
then you're
yeah.
like, oh my goodness. It's no wonder I was so overweight and unhealthy. And I thought I
Unhappy.
couldn't.
It really does. It makes you unhappy, on your inside. Just it because yeah, it's all those impurities in your body.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And now, when I had my blood work done, my thyroid, whatever, came back to where my thyroid medicine is now too strong, and she had to lower the
Good.
dose. And I was like thinking to myself, well, it's based on your body weight. So, yeah, you should have already changed that. But I didn't think about it either. So I was like, "Oh, yeah, okay, we can get that lowered down," and then I have to go back in 4 weeks
That's
and have a
wonderful.
blood test done, and then I might get to lower it some more. So I was like, "Yeah, I'll do that." And then when I picked
Yay.
it up at the pharmacy, they were like, "So you're taking the 150 and you're gonna take the 125?" And I'm like, no. I'm no longer taking the 150. I'm going to take the 125." And then I hadn't filled my blood pressure medicine, and they were like, "Oh, and the insurance company would like to know, is there a reason you're not getting your blood pressure medicine?" And I said, "Yes, because I no longer take it." She was like, "Taking something
Yay.
else?" And I said, "No, I no longer need it. I'm not taking it." And she was just like, "Okay." And I'm like, why does the insurance company not check with the doctor? Why did they ask the
Right.
pharmacist why you're not picking something up when the doctor knows and you're no longer taking it? So what, you know, the pharmacist doesn't know why you're not getting it, but the doctor does.
Right.
And I was like, okay, now I'm getting questioned at the pharmacy about my choices. Taking
Yeah.
all
I
this
don't remember a pharmacist asking me
medicine,
insurance company blah blah blah. They I never had one care that much. Yes, yes. BJ says, good for you.
Yeah. Oh, and then I had to tell my doctor too to make sure they put it in because I have Medicare. That she put it in as a wellness visit because they kept asking me if I had had a wellness visit. And I'm like, I have had whatever visit my doctor requires of me to have. I don't know, I didn't go there and say I would like a wellness visit. I just
Right,
made an appointment and I go and they do whatever they do and that's my appointment. And so I
right.
said, okay, I will ask my doctor, have I had it? And so the doctor was like, oh, okay, well, we have to ask you a certain set of questions
Right.
in order to be able to say this was a wellness exam. And I'm like, okay, fine, ask me the question because I'm tired of them calling me wanting to know why I've not scheduled my wellness appointment. Hello, Weekend with Nay. I'm like, this is ridiculous. And I think it was like three questions they asked me. Like,
Uh-huh.
I'm like, okay, well, just put it as a wellness because I'm tired of them asking me why I haven't done this or whatever.
Right.
And I felt like saying, and could you write them a letter saying she no longer needs this medication and that's why she's not getting it? Because why get it? I mean, and I have a zero copay on most of my prescriptions. I could
Right.
be getting it, but I don't need it. So why would I get it? It doesn't make any
Yeah.
sense.
And put in there a little PS, subject to more changes, as you
Yeah.
keep dropping. It's
I
gonna
mean,
yeah.
because they paid for my weight loss surgery. My insurance company is well aware of the fact that I had weight loss surgery,
Uh-huh.
but yet I'm not supposed to get off my medication. It's like,
Yeah. That
if
was
nothing
another
else,
reason.
if nothing else, they would have to cut my doses down
Mhm.
because it's based on your weight, you know?
Right.
So if nothing else, even if I couldn't get completely off of things, they would be cutting my doses down. So I wouldn't be getting the prescriptions that I had. I would be getting new prescriptions of, I don't know. It's just weird. It's like they think that, maybe I'm losing my mind. I'm a little senile. And I just decided, hey, I'm not going to go get my medicine.
It's not
It's
funny.
like,
I've
you know,
stopped meds. I've stopped meds, and nobody's ever asked me anything. My doctor, when I go to my doctor, they say, "So you still on this?" No. Well, it says you still have a script. I stopped taking it a long time ago. Oh, okay. And they just go,
well, that's
they
that's
just
one
mark
thing
it
with
off.
that's one thing I did this doctor visit is I wrote down the prescriptions that I am still taking and the dosage, and then I
Uh-huh.
wrote down all the supplements that I'm taking.
Uh-huh.
And the nurse was like, "Do you have any complaints?" And I was like, "No, but I have a few changes I would like you to put in my record." And she's like, "Okay,
There
what?"
you go.
And I said, "Okay, I'm no." And then she's like, "Okay, we're just going to go through the list because you're not taking more than you're taking, and it'll be easier for me to, you know, clear them out or whatever." So she went through, and then she was like, "Oh my goodness, you're not taking hardly anything." And I'm like, "I know, isn't that wonderful?"
I'm so
But
proud of you.
my doctor was like, we're going to do blood work because, even though you
Yeah.
say that, you were having the lightheadedness and feeling like you were going to faint with the blood pressure medicine, that probably means you don't need it, but we'll check your blood pressure. And even though you said you were having low blood sugar readings and said you didn't need your insulin, we'll still check to make sure. Hi, Cindy. Welcome. And so I'm like, okay, you can check whatever you want to check. Every,
Right.
I'm totally honest with you. Everything I've said has been true. So she says, we'll do a complete panel. We'll do all of this and all of that and whatever. And it was like, I had my results from 4 months ago. And like every single thing was lower than it was 4 months ago, which was already lower than it was before I had the surgery, you know. And then she was
Right.
like, "Oh,
Okay,
yeah,
Indigo, what are you cooking?
I've been
Right.
listening to my
Yeah,
chicken."
you're getting off a lot of things. But you were at the peak of all of them, weren't you? Close
Yeah.
to it. Yeah. So the only way you
Yeah, well,
could
that
go was to
that
take
was the whole reason why I decided to have the surgery because my doctor said that I was like maxed out on what they could give me for my diabetes, and my sugar was not under control,
yeah.
even though I was
Yeah.
taking all that medicine. And so
Mhm.
I was like, well, like, do I have any options? I mean, what would I do? I mean, if we can't get it under control with the maximum amount and types, and I was on like 3 or 4 different things. It wasn't just one, pill or whatever. It's like, you
Right.
know, what would I do? And then I said,
Now what are you doing now? Are you doing anything
say that again.
about your diabetes? Are you doing any
I take
shots, any
one.
pills?
I take one pill that it's a diabetic medication, but what it's used for is to protect your kidneys and your heart from what having high blood sugar does to your body. Even though my
Okay.
sugar is not high anymore, it's like because I've had that for years, it's like she wants me to stay on that medicine as a like a
Good.
preventative type thing.
Okay.
Because if
Okay, good.
something was to happen and my sugar did go up, this would protect my kidneys and my heart. It doesn't do
Oh,
anything to hurt me by taking it, but it will prevent any damage
right.
if anything was to go on. And plus, she said because I've already had so many years of the diabetes, whatever damage might be there, I could still end up with kidney what is it, kidney failure or kidney disease,
Renal
and I
failure.
could still have a heart attack, or have heart issues,
Well, and they're
because of,
also weak, so anything can affect
yeah.
them easily. Easier.
So
Yeah.
it's kind of like a preventative thing. But she said
Yeah.
that one she would prefer me to stay on, you know,
Okay.
but that's it. I'm not taking, and I
That's
was
easy.
taking,
That's easy.
you know, 5 shots a day and all these different pills, and, you know, so I mean, it's,
Yeah.
but my
When you wake
blood
up in the
test,
morning and you have a rainbow of pills in your hand,
yeah,
all colors and shapes and sizes. Oh my
my
goodness.
my level, even if it had stayed the same as it was 4 months ago, with me being completely off the insulin, I would have been happy.
Mm.
But it came down 2 points. So I was like, yeah, I don't need that anymore. But it was funny because she was like, okay, she's really a young doctor. And I know she probably doesn't have patients like me, who are saying, well, I felt like this, so I did this. It's like, she wants to tell you what to do.
Right.
And she was like, oh, okay, well, I can understand that. And I thought she was going to say, well, you should have called us or you should have came in. I'm
Uh-huh.
like, no. And then when I told her that I had fallen in May and that I had pretty much figured out it was probably from the low blood pressure, well, did you go to the emergency room? I didn't hurt anything. I mean, I hurt, but I wasn't like nothing broken or anything.
Right.
And she was like, oh, okay. And she's like, you didn't need anything for pain? And I'm like, yeah, I didn't do anything. It's like I found a comfortable position and I stayed there.
Exactly.
And it's like, yeah, I'm not taking anything for pain. And she was like, well, what about your restless leg? I don't have restless leg anymore. Well, what about this? I don't have that anymore. And I really think the weight pulling on my back was causing those nerves to hurt, and have the
Oh
issues
yeah.
having with my legs. Yeah, I still have the numbness in my feet, but I don't have the pain that I used to have with it.
Right.
So I really think a lot of that was the weight related back issues. And now that that's better, I don't really need those. And the only thing that I did tell the nurse that was changing everything, I had a prescription for Flexeril, which is a muscle relaxer. And I said, I haven't taken it in probably 2 years, but if I ever need it, I would want to take it. And
Right.
she was like, we'll just put PRN or PNR, whatever it is, as
PRN.
needed. And she
Mhm.
said that way it'll be there. If you need to get a refill, you can get a refill. I was like, okay, good. But yeah, I'm like, I don't want to take any pain medication. I definitely don't want to take any nerve medication that messes with your brain. Because
Right.
that one nerve pill I was on, oh my goodness. If I took too much of it, I would be like a zombie. I wouldn't even know. Like my daughter would tell me that I said things, and I'm like, no, I didn't. She's like, yeah, you did. You were talking kind of crazy. It's like, yeah, no. She took me to the doctor one time. Told the doctor that she thought that like I needed um, some kind of something, some kind of medicine because I was like loony and the doctor's like, well, what has changed? Has anything changed? And this is way before my weight loss surgery.
Mhm.
She's like, I don't know, but she needs help. And then the doctor was going over this, what I was taking now, and we got to that one medicine, and it was supposed to be one 3 times a day, and I
Mhm.
thought it was three once a day.
Right.
So I was like ODing on it first thing in the morning, and then it would wear off throughout the day. But if you asked me anything first thing after I took it, yeah, I was, you know. And the doctor told my daughter, yeah, I think if she stops taking it wrong and starts taking it like she's supposed to, I think she'll be fine. And I think you'll notice a big difference. But it can do those things that you're, mentioning or whatever. My daughter's like, all I know is she's crazy and we got to, get her some help.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my goodness.
Oh
My
yeah.
poor
When I
daughter.
first started going to my psychiatrist, he was they give you this the traditional, and then they figure it out from there. So they give you he was giving me some stuff. He was, woo, goodness gracious. Well, it stopped my anxiety. It stopped my agoraphobia. It stopped there. I couldn't move. I just sat there and just
Oh
did the
no.
knot. That's all I did all day long. And I went, this is this is too strong.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
they can give you some stuff.
Gosh.
Just woo, makes you loopy.
And I think sometimes the doctors don't really even know themselves what the medications do. Like to warn you, like, well, if you start feeling this way or this starts happening.
Well, just like everything else, everybody's body's different, so it
Yeah,
could affect you differently. So
that's
they
true.
can't really warn you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know.
Well, I know, boy, oh boy, it's going to be something if they ever try to give me another prescription of anything. I'm going to be like, wait a minute, let me look this up. What is
There you go again, reading
what is it
labels.
supposed to do? Why is it that I need this? Like I am not blindly just going to take anything anymore. That's for sure. And I think when you take a lot of medication, you don't even realize the side effects that you're having because you
No,
had a problem to begin with. And if that problem is helped by it and you add some side effects in there, I never really even thought about them being side effects. I always just thought, well, there's something else wrong too, because now
right,
I'm feeling
and I
this.
just didn't notice it.
Yeah, yeah. Like I was focusing on that problem and now, oh, I had this problem. And I swear, if you tell the doctor anything, they will find you something to take to make you,
Yeah,
that is
take
supposed
this
to make
medicine
you
to
feel
fix
better.
this, but it gives you this side effect. So they give you a medicine for the side effect, and then I mean, it's just yeah,
Yeah. And
yeah.
I never thought I would get off of all that stuff. I mean, I was on breathing medicine, I was doing inhalers, uh, I was on two different allergy pills because I had breathing issues,
Right.
because I was overweight. It's like, ah! But I was so short of breath, I couldn't do hardly anything without huffing and puffing. And I mean, it was like you have asthma, or you had this, or you had
I don't
that.
know how you worked at Walmart. I have no idea because that's miles and miles and miles of walking every day.
Do you know I have been
Especially
gone
during the
from
day because you have to
Walmart?
walk.
I've been gone since 2017. So 18, 19, 20, and 4. So 7 years, eight
Mhm.
years, been longer
Uh-huh.
than that. Wait, maybe 16. I think I got my disability in 17. Okay, so 16. So 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 22, 23, 24, 25. Okay, so 10, about 10 years. Anyway, I'm at the school Friday, and two different people said, didn't you used to work at Walmart?
Wow.
And I'm like, yes, I did for a long, long time.
Uh-huh.
I started there when my daughter was 3, and she just
Wow.
turned 28.
That's a lot of miles. That's a
A lot of miles.
lot of miles.
A lot of miles.
Because yeah, Walmart is huge. And people don't think about it, but they call you to the back to the warehouse and you're up at the front of the register, you got to get there. You got to get there.
Well, and
You
the
don't have
thing
a
about
shuttle.
it is, now I see people on, like, the stools at the register. Sometimes people have a stool or sitting down at
Doesn't
the door.
All these does, don't they?
Well, all these, yeah, they have a like a office chair there at their register. But back when I worked there, there was not, there was no sitting down. There was nothing,
Oh
like
no.
that you could do. And
Slows
the first
production if you
time,
sit down. That was
the
always their
first
philosophy.
time I tore my Achilles tendon, I still was going to work, and I would get on the riding cart, the electric cart, because I worked overnight, and so it really didn't
Uh-huh.
matter.
Right.
And I would ride, to if I had to go to the back of the store or whatever like that, and everything was fine. Nobody asked me, "Oh, did you hurt yourself?" or "Is there a reason you're riding on the cart?" or nothing. The first night I go in there with my boot on, you can't work. That's a fall risk because you could slip and fall with that boot on. And I'm like, I've been working for 11 days with this foot hurt.
Right.
Not one person asked me one question. But now, because I've gone to the doctor and I have a boot to wear, I
Uh-huh.
can't work. I mean, I
Right.
was so mad. I was so mad. I was like, I wasn't supposed to be driving either. I would take the boot off, drive there, put the boot on, get out.
Oh, so much pain, honey. So much pain.
But that they don't, if you're a fall risk, I mean, you could hurt something else, or hurt yourself, more, and so they won't let you work. And so I
Do you
couldn't
see
work.
this? Cindy has reached out her hair mask. So she's putting on one of your masks, one of your suggestions.
Yeah, she works at the cosmetic counter in like Macy's or something.
Oh, okay.
She's in California. Um,
Oh, she's in Cali?
yeah, and she does all kinds of makeup reviews and um, different products and
Oh, very
all that
nice.
kind of stuff.
I'm gonna have to check
And
you out. Cindy.
yeah, she's a sweet, sweet lady. But all of the, I guess, little work aids or little things they let people do now, back when I was working, it was like no. And I even worked in the cash office counting money at one point, and I was like, well, can I just do that? That's a sit down job.
Uh-huh.
No, it's like, if you can't do what they want you to be able to do, you can't work. And so between my doctor and my job, they decided I wasn't able to work anymore, because even after I had my surgery on my Achilles tendon, it was discovered that I had no feeling in my feet.
Oh, okay.
And that made me a fall risk, even with
Oh,
having had
really?
the surgery. And I was like, you got to be kidding me. I should have never went to the doctor, but that's how
Yeah.
those kind of things.
Sometimes honesty bites you in the backside, you know? Yeah. Yeah.
But
It's weird having a feeling.
luckily,
Mine I have feeling, but it feels like I don't know, they feel like they're asleep or something. It's hard to
uh-huh,
describe,
yeah.
you know? And like if you walk across the floor and like a little piece of something is on the floor, feels like a nail going in your foot, if that makes
Mm.
sense.
Well,
So,
now this is how mine started. The plastic bags that they use at Walmart, right?
uh-huh.
The thin plastic bag. Sometimes when they pull off that thin plastic bag, a little piece of it like
Right.
falls off. My feet would feel like I had on sandals when I
Okay.
had on shoes and socks, but my feet would feel like I had on sandals, and like a piece of that plastic had like gotten like under my toe. And so
Okay.
I like could feel that piece of plastic, and to the point that I would go somewhere and take my shoes and socks off and look, because it felt like something was in there, you know.
Uh-huh.
Of course there would be nothing. And I had on shoes and socks, but I could like feel a breeze on my feet, like I had on sandals. It was like
Oh,
the weirdest
really?
thing, yeah. So all of those um, like sensory things in your skin, they stop working
Yeah.
when you start getting that kind of nerve damage, and it's like you don't really know. That's why people can get a cut and it can become infected, and they don't
Uh-huh.
even realize that they had a cut, yet alone that it's infected, because you don't feel it,
Yeah. My
you know.
feet are on fire. All the time they're on
Well,
fire.
and there for
Just
a while,
hot all the time. I have to put ice packs on my feet sometimes, you know?
sometimes I would feel like they were burning. Other times it would be like needles and pins, like they'd been asleep and they were just waking up. Sometimes it would feel um, like I could touch them, and I would feel it with this hand that I'm touching my foot, but I wouldn't feel on my foot that I was touching it. It'd be like
Yeah.
really weird, you know, sensation. And I used to get the sparking, like it felt like somebody had a hot poker or electric shock, and it was always in my big toe. And it would
Uh-huh.
feel like somebody was zapping that big toe. And I mean, my leg would jump. Like it would be like, oh my gosh, you know,
Yes.
and it would definitely feel like that, you know. And it was only like the very tips of my toes at first, and then it was like my whole toe, and then it was the top of my foot, then it was my whole foot, you know.
Now, anything coming back in your feet? Is it starting to come back? Because it is nerves,
No,
so they
well,
can you know,
yeah,
they rejuvenate, but
and
some
even
of it.
when I was at my worst with it, they would always say if I could get my sugar under control, it wouldn't be as bad. It would still be there, but it's like having the high sugar makes it even worse.
Uh-huh.
So
Well, I
now
was
that
thinking
my
about
sugar's
these.
under
It's kind of like that.
control, you know, I don't get a lot of those sensations as much as I
Good.
was getting. And that's why I was taking the nerve medicine to, so my brain didn't realize that I was having those things.
Uh-huh.
So I don't have that. But now, when I had my sore on my toe, I mean, he could still take the scalpel and cut on my toe, and I didn't feel a thing, you know.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I don't think I'm ever going to have that actual sensation of being able to feel it.
Right.
But I'm not as clumsy. I don't trip myself as much. There for a while, I was falling no matter what I did. It was just like
Uh-huh.
my feet didn't know where they were, and I'd boop, 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 fall over, you know. So, I mean, I was walking with the walker and the cane and still falling down all the time.
Wow.
That's why when
That's
I
scary.
fell back in May, I hadn't fallen in over a year. That's why I knew something had changed, you know, something was up, because that was just too weird how I, you know, fell. And
And you had no padding.
yeah, oh God, I hit right on that hip. Boom. I was like, ah. And I could tell as soon as my foot like did the foot drop thing, I
Right.
was like, I've got that nerve inflamed big time. And that's what, because I've done that before when I had fallen on the ice.
Right.
I had done that. But it's like, yeah, you know, it's so much different. Even though, I mean, I could still fall. I could go out there right now and fall, because I can't feel my feet. But I think I've learned to, you know, walk carefully and look where I'm going, and, you know, so it was very strange when I fell. It took me totally by surprise. I hadn't, you know, uh, didn't realize that was going to happen. But I did know I had started getting lightheaded when I would get up. But then again, you don't think about it being something wrong. It's like, well, it wasn't happening like every single time. It would
Right.
just happen once in a while, and it's like, okay, that's kind of weird, but all right, I'm fine. And then when I started getting the really blurry vision, I was like,
Uh-oh.
okay, something's not right with this. And then I look up what happens when you have too much blood pressure medicine. Blurry vision and falls and lightheadedness when you stand up. Oh, I have too much blood pressure medicine.
Yeah.
Okay. You know.
A lot of people, if they're when they stand up and their blood pressure shoots down, they'll even get a runny nose. Some
Uh,
reason they'll get a runny nose. Dude. I mean, I don't want to be graphic, and I'm not going to tell you, but a lot of people they'll get runny noses when their blood pressure goes down real quick. Isn't that funny?
that
I don't
is
know why.
weird. Well,
I don't know
that's
why.
like the signs that you're full after you've had weight loss surgery.
Uh-huh.
Some people sneeze.
Uh-huh.
Some people get a runny nose. Some people
Uh-huh.
get the hiccups.
Uh-huh.
It's like,
Oh, have you had the hiccups yet?
no, I don't get the hiccups. Mm-mm.
Oh, okay. Other
I'm,
gets them and you go, oh, they're
oh,
painful
yeah,
because
I'm
it's different
aggravating.
muscles,
Yeah,
in there. Yeah.
I'm just so careful not to overeat because the minute I start to feel that, I'm like, that's it. No more drinking, no more eating. We are gonna chill. Let
Yeah.
that pass. Um, because I had it the couple of times that I had it, it hurt so bad
Yeah.
that I was like,
Oh,
if
yeah. He's
I
doubled
can,
over in pain.
yeah,
And there's no way to get it out.
uh-uh.
It's in there now.
And it's gonna be in there until it decides to do whatever it's gonna do. And
Uh-huh.
uh-uh.
Because he had the uh tummy stomach reduction. He had the
Hmm.
whole,
The
you know.
sleeve thing. Or did
So
he
I
have
mean, he
the
doesn't even
bypass?
have the reflex muscles to regurgitate.
Yeah.
Huh? Yeah. He doesn't
Yeah.
even have those
He
muscles.
probably he
So
probably had the bypass, yeah.
yeah.
But anyway, I can't throw up either. I mean, I've never tried to make myself throw up, but I mean, I have not. And a lot of people get where they do throw up a lot, but
Yeah.
mine it's just like it's like you swallowed a brick and it's
Yeah.
just stuck there and it's
Uh-huh.
not going nowhere.
And that's
And
painful. That can get painful.
I used to think, oh, take a drink, it'll push it on down. No, that makes it go, makes it
Bust it
even
up.
more pressure. Like, oh my goodness. They say don't drink and eat at the same time. I know why, because, it's like it's fighting for the space. You have very
Right.
little space, and it's like, okay, this is it now. We're full in here. But it's just so weird because when you look at the amount of food, it just doesn't seem possible
Right.
that that amount of food could make you feel that full, you know. And so when you look at it and you're like, even when you weigh it out and you're like, no, this is, only this much food, you should be able to eat that. It's like, to me, it seems like it's different foods that does it, at different
Uh-huh.
times. It'll be like, one day I can eat something fine. And then another time I go to eat it, it's like, nope, that's it. So
Right.
even though to me, I know, well, this ought to work. As soon as I feel that feeling, it's like, man, I can't do it. I'm not
Right.
going there. And it doesn't matter what it is or how bad I want it. I'm like, I'll wait an hour or
Right.
2 hours or whatever I have to do, and then I'll have another bite of it. But I can't have another bite of it now because I'm going to be miserable. Which maybe not everybody's affects them like that. Because I know I've heard a lot of people say even like right after surgery, like they didn't feel any kind of restriction. Like they could eat
Yeah.
whatever they wanted as much as they wanted. And I'm like, how? How is that possible?
How do you not? Yeah.
It's like, there's no way. And of course, I was scared in the very beginning because you think about it. normally when you have surgery on something and they stitch it together, you're not putting liquid and food in there. Like it's like that area is closed up and that's,
Right.
you know. And so to think about it, like, oh, it could leak or it could open up or, whatever. It's like, so, and you don't know how
You
that's
want to
going to
be gentle with
feel,
it anyway. Yeah.
because you've not had this before. So you don't know, like, it's not like you can say, oh, well, if I feel like I have a bubble there, I'll know that means it's leaking or whatever. I mean, you
Mhm.
just don't know. So then it's like, I think I was a little paranoid at first, like, oh, I can't even, like, because I thought I would feel it go down. I like when I drank something, I
Uh-huh.
would be able to feel it go down. And I'm
Like
like,
the cartoons, huh? You where
yeah.
you
And it's like, okay, I didn't feel nothing. Shouldn't I have felt something? So it was just like, okay, I'm going to really have little tiny baby bites because I'm so afraid. And
right.
then even after the first like 3 months, when, it's safe to eat other, food or whatever, I think you still think it's going to hurt. Like, you know, for
You
whatever
don't
reason.
want to hurt.
Yeah. And so it's like, you're still like, okay, let me try a little bit and see what happens. But I mean, I can eat anything I want to eat, but I just may only be able to eat a bite or two, and
Yeah.
that may be the end of that. But it's all right. I don't want to have regain for sure. And I see a lot of people on the support groups and stuff that they get to a certain point and they think that they can go back to eating like they used to eat, and then they start gaining weight again. And I mean, it's a tool, but if you don't change your mind and eat the right things, you're not going to be successful.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then
I,
again,
I've
too,
I've known people that, they do that and they look really good. They go out and buy new clothes. They feel real good about themselves. And then I won't see them for about a year, and I'm seeing them do this, and I'm like,
hmm
you're getting too comfortable. You're starting to stretch that baby
Hey,
out. That
and,
pain doesn't hurt so bad anymore, huh, honey? To get that one more bite in there, that piece
mm,
of cake. That,
see, and that's
I'm
like
thinking,
with
why
me,
would you
it's
go through
like,
all that torture
it's
for
like
that?
I'm not going back through what I went through.
Yeah.
I mean, and now that I know that I can live and feel relatively good and not take all that medicine and everything, it's like, why would you want to go back to that? You know,
Exactly.
you know, I mean, there's no way. And that's like even like with the exercise, your body adjusts to what you're doing. And you
Uh-huh.
always have to be increasing it, increasing it, increasing it. That's why you don't start out doing 3 hour workouts, because eventually you'll have to do a 4 or 5 hour workout.
Yeah.
It's like you do 15 or 20 minutes, and then you can work up to 30 minutes and then 45 minutes. And it's like you gradually work it up. And I was reading something the other day talking about why some people lose weight when they walk and some people walk and don't lose weight.
Uh-huh.
And it's because you need to do let's just say that the doctor in the medical field tells you do 150 minutes a week.
Okay.
To lose weight, you really need to do 250 minutes a week. And you need to do, and they'll say, even if you only do 10 minutes at a time, 10 minutes 3 times a day adds up to 30 minutes.
Hmm.
But if you can walk the whole 30 minutes and you can do 10 minutes just normal pace, and then 10 minutes of fast pace, and then 10 minutes of normal pace, then your body you'll lose weight. But if you
Right.
just do 30 minutes the same pace the whole time, it's not going to be, because you're not getting that cardiovascular
Right.
part in, because you're not getting your heart rate up. And then it
That makes
said,
sense.
you can do 30 minutes 4 days a week or 5 days a week, but then on 2 days a week you need to do 45 minutes to an hour, and you
Right.
need to increase the length of time you're
Push
doing
yourself a
that
little bit.
faster, you know. And I was like,
That
that
makes
makes
sense.
sense, that you have to, constantly be changing things up and increasing things, or it's not going to be beneficial. And I think that's what people do, is they go too hard too fast, and they can't maintain it, and they can't keep it going, and then eventually they just, after 3 months, say, okay, this is ridiculous, I'm not seeing the results, so it's not
Well,
working, I'm
and
not
they
going to do it.
plateau.
Yeah.
Plateau is very discouraging.
Yeah. And you have to be able to say, yeah, well, you got to keep going, and now you got to change it up and do something
Uh-huh.
different, and your body will kick back in, or whatever. But
Okay, PJ, we'll see you at Laurel and Hardy, honey. I'll be
okay,
there.
PK, Mondays and Thursdays, I'm going to do my darndest. As soon as I see the notification, I'm going to put the notification on, and I'm going to set a reminder in my phone so I don't forget. But I think that with um, trying to be able to increase your activity, and it's kind of the same thing with, eating less. Like, I can't see me really eating a whole lot less than I eat, because I have to get so many grams of protein. I have to eat so
Right.
much, anyway. Um, but people
We're talking
try
about weight
to,
loss now, honey. She's back
you
there
know,
like, we're talking
it,
about
it, it's
we're
some,
just jump in anytime, honey. We'll be talking about something crazy.
if you don't eat enough, you're going to plateau, and your body's going to be like, hey, we got to hang on to everything you're giving us, because you're not giving us what we need. And so that's part of it too. You have to do what's sustainable over a period of time. You can't just do something, short term for 3 months and then be like, oh, well, that didn't work, I'm going to stop. Or
Right.
even if you're like doing like I'm doing, and then you get to a point and you say, okay, I don't have to eat that protein now, I could just eat whatever I want to eat, or start eating not such good things, or decide, well, I don't really have to walk, I don't really have to work out, then what's going to happen? I'm either going to stay right where I'm at, or I'm going to start gaining back.
Yeah.
And I read something the other day. It said, when you're in your 60s, you are not exercising to look good in the mirror. You are exercising to be able to wipe your own butt when you're 80. And that to me makes a whole lot of sense. You have to keep where you
Yes.
can be able to move and use your muscles and have
And
muscles.
function. Yeah.
Otherwise, by the time we reach 80, we're not going to have the strength to do anything. And
Right.
and one of the things I was watching the other day was talking about how, um, when you sit a lot, the muscles that you need to like stand up, that's what's going to deteriorate. You're not going to lose maybe muscles like in your arms or in your legs, but the muscles in your core and your back that you need to be able to stand up, that like
Mhm.
starts deteriorating first.
Right.
And so, that's why older people have a hard time getting up out
Right.
of a chair and things like that. And I was like, yeah, that, it makes a lot of sense, that if you can't get up, you definitely can't walk, and you're not going to do anything else if you can't even get yourself up, or be able to
That's
go
it.
from laying in the bed to sitting up and getting out of the bed, you know. So yeah, I was
Yeah.
like,
If you
yeah,
can't
no,
get
I
yourself
will.
up, then it's like I can't go. I can't even make it to the potty. I can't.
Yeah,
You know. So then the the independence goes right down the tubes. It
yeah,
really does. Yeah. And then
yeah.
your
And
self
you're not able to stay independent and be
no.
able to do anything if you can't get up and down, and if you can't
Yeah.
walk, and and all of that stuff, we got to start now in our 60s if we want to be able to still do it in our 80s. We can't
Mhm.
wait till we're 79 and be like, oh, maybe I'll start working out now so that when I'm
Right.
80, I can do it. No, you will have lost so much of your muscle, that you won't be able to do that. So you got to, and I don't think I'm ever going to be in shape, like that doesn't matter. That's not my goal to be in shape. And like I said before, I knew at doing it at 61, it wasn't going to make me 40 again.
Right.
But I was in such bad health at 40. I feel a whole lot better at 62 than I did at 42.
Uh-huh.
But I do know that if I don't continue to move, I will get the arthritis will set in and I will get so I'm sore and not being able to do things. So
Yeah.
I'm just and my daughter, she laughs at me all the time. I can't believe you're putting your workout on YouTube. The person who wouldn't wear a shirt if it was tight enough to show a fat roll. And now you're just out there with everything for everybody to see. And I'm like,
Yes,
it's
you are.
it's different. It's different. Now the fat rolls are not the problem. You know what I'm saying? It's like everybody else knew I was fat. I just didn't want to
I do.
acknowledge it.
Uh-huh.
And now it's like it is what it is. I too, at least now I can move my body where I
Yeah.
couldn't before, you know.
Yeah. Well, and like I said, you can see it in your eyes, you can see it in your expression, the change, just in the last year, how
Yeah.
it's just one extreme to the other. I
Yeah.
mean, it's a total different person here. So
Yeah. And I
be
don't
very
like seeing
proud of you,
myself.
the journey you've taken.
I don't like seeing myself in those old videos, but I need those old videos because that's inspiration not to ever go back there.
Well, and it also is, and you guys can take it any way you want to. It's also a pat on your back because it tells you, I've gone this far. Look where I was. Good for me. I'm
Yeah.
serious, guys. Everybody needs a pat on the back.
Yeah.
Good for me.
And
Serious.
especially because I had the issue back then of not realizing how big I was.
Yeah.
Because it's like your mind plays tricks on you, you
Hmm.
know? So now that I see it, I'm like, oh my God. So it's a good visual for me to be able to look at that and be like, oh my goodness, okay, yeah, that
Yeah.
was me. And I don't recognize myself like that now, which is weird,
Yeah.
but
Good for you.
you know,
Good for
um,
you.
and somebody came in my chat one day and I was talking about saying, I don't know why nobody ever told me I was fat because I really was fat. And they were like, thank you for saying that you were fat. Like so many people, even when they know they were fat, don't admit they were fat. It's like
Yeah.
uh, you're lying to
Got
yourself.
blinders for it.
But yeah, you're just not being honest.
Yeah.
But um, I knew I was overweight. I knew I was unhealthy, but I never saw it the way I see it now. Which I
Yeah.
guess you can't until you put some distance between that, you know. And then you can appreciate the body you're in now and what this body can do compared to what that body could do.
Right.
You know, because
Comparatively, God, they don't
I,
know.
I felt like I was going to die. I mean, not only did I not have the will to want to live or the motivation to live, but I also didn't think I was, I thought my health was so poor that I wasn't going to live, you know, like you might as well
But this
just,
is the way it was.
yeah,
So yeah, it was just the way it was. Yeah.
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 And I know it scared my daughter terribly, you know, that I even felt the way I felt that, I don't know how much longer I've got. And she's like, what are you talking about? You can't go anywhere. And I'm like, yeah, but I'm just saying, I'm wore out. I'm tired.
Yeah.
And so to feel the way I feel now is just like, that's a totally different person than who I was before and who I
I
am now.
love that.
Totally different person. And then too, with all
I,
the healing that
I
I've
love
done,
that.
man, I feel so much different than I felt. You know, I so
See
much
right
felt
there.
like,
That laugh. We
yeah,
didn't see it a year ago. We wouldn't have
uh,
saw that laugh a year ago.
no,
But
no. And
come
a
on.
year
That wasn't
ago, I
that
was
wasn't part of it.
still, even 2 years ago, a year and a half ago, I was still wearing that mask. You were not seeing me. You were seeing what I thought I needed you to see, you know, instead of actually now seeing who I really am and all of it. And I don't know why I was so afraid, you know. I don't know. I guess because people have always walked away from me for one reason or another. And I
Right.
guess I felt like if I told people things about myself, that they would just walk away and leave,
Oh yeah.
and then I have to deal with that.
Oh yeah.
But
I
that
totally
didn't happen, and I'm so glad it didn't happen because I definitely was, fearful that that would happen.
yeah. Well, we're all still here, honey. We're
I
all
know,
still rooting for you. So
and
yeah.
I'm still going.
Yeah. So on that note, we've been here 2.5 hours.
Yeah, it's
What do you
time to
say?
go. It is time to go. Thank y'all so much.
See, we're gonna end on a positive after going through alligator and
Yeah.
all that.
And we talked about so many strange things today.
I love that. I love that. I do.
You just don't ever know what you're going to get from us. What are we talking about next time? Let me think. Let's see if I have it written down.
She's the pilot. I'm just the sightseer.
Massages.
Oh, we're gonna do some massages. Well, okay.
We're going to talk
All
about
right.
massage.
We might even get Other up here.
There you
Yeah.
go.
Yeah,
Does
he
he
knows a
know?
lot about it.
He knows a lot about massages.
Oh yes. He's got a certificate massage
Oh,
therapy as well.
yes. We'll
So
talk to him
yeah.
about that.
So we'll
See,
see. We'll see.
yeah, that would
All
be
right,
good.
sweetheart.
All right.
Everybody, try
I'm
to
gonna
make today
I'm
just a
gonna
little bit
play the
better than
song
yesterday.
on the way out, and then I will just end it. So y'all enjoy the song. There we go. All right, our song.
Two brave voices on a glowing screen, sharing hope where the world's unseen. Echoes, laughter lights the day. Lucy's wisdom guides the way. With every word they break the chains, turning struggles into gains. Echo and Lucy, lifting hearts so high. Through the storm to the clear blue sky. On their YouTube chat, the healing's real. Every soul they touch begins to heal. Echo and Lucy, shining true, helping the world, helping you. Stories told, the tears unwind. They listen close, they're gentle, kind. Every comment feels like home. No one ever stands alone. Dreams get mended, fears released. Through their voices, pain finds peace. Echo and Lucy, lifting hearts so high. Through the storm at a clear blue sky. On their YouTube chat, the healing's real. Every soul they touch begins to heal. Echo and Lucy, shining true, helping the world, helping you. When the night feels heavy and the world feels cold, their words are fire, their stories go. They remind us so we can stand again with kindness, courage, and a loving friend.